Namaste, near and dear ones. I hope you all are much safe and fit and healthy. In last lecture, we seen that the basic outline of these chapters as per our syllabus, which is normed as per Saurashtra University. Right? So now in this session, we are going to start our chapter from last, and the chapter name is the marginal cost. The last chapter number 4, right? Marginal costing. Right? So before we starting this our practical example related with the relevant theory, right? So I would like to just share with you just what is the marginal costing, right? So before we try to understand the marginal costing, first we should know at least the marginal cost. What is it exactly, right? And then we switch over to the marginal costing, right? So first of all, what is marginal costing, right? So if the marginal costing, while studying the marginal costing, right, you should at least know that the classification of cost, right? And you well studied in SY second semester, SY in third and fourth semester, the classification of cost. You studied in the subject name is cost accounting, right? See, the marginal costing, now we were going to the basic introduction of marginal costing is that marginal costing is not an independent method, just like as such unit costing, contract costing, batch costing and process costing, right? Job and batch, right? All this costing you studied, right? You studied in SY, BCOM SEM 3 and either SEM 4, whatever it may be, right? So unit costing you also study. In that you are required to prepare cost sheet, right? Contract costing, right? Then batch costing and process costing. One particular product is going into while you input one product for launching or new product is suppose input, right? There is a in between that there is work in progress, and it may be, and it at all, right? And last one is finished goods, right? So there is a process costing. The concept is that, right? So all the things. It means the marginal costing is not an independent method. Right? Why? Because of the marginal costing is not an independent method. Why? Because of it is the resultant into that effect on profits. Right? So whatever the if suppose you are changing production unit, right? So the volume of production or production unit or output, right? That is directly effect to the profit, right? If there is suppose if you want to increase one unit, right, then there may be change in profit, right? So the marginal costing, it is to be said that, right? What is it said that the marginal costing is directly affect to the profit by changing volume of production, by additional volume. So it is normally, simply we can say that, generally we can say that the concept of marginal cost, right? So let's say we are going to the first, we try to understand that what is the marginal costing, right? So marginal cost it means the change in the total cost. Total cost, while you use the word total cost, so there is a classification of fixed cost and variable cost, and along with that there is semi-variable cost also. Semi-variable cost you studied well in SY, right? Total cost due to increase or decrease by one additional unit. Later on we will try with the example, right? By additional one unit. That means here the increase or decrease, the word utilize, right? If there is suppose one unit is produced, then what will be the cost incurred? Right, and that cost is affect to the profit or not, right? And along with the again I am increase, suppose one additional unit, it means now the unit is become 2, right? Then what sort of changes is there? right? You are suppose you are changing volume of production, right? Then also change in profit, right? So again I repeat, the marginal cost, it means the change in total cost due to increase or decrease by one additional unit. So this is the basic meaning of marginal cost, right? Before the meaning of marginal cost, right? Then there is one institutions, right? According to ICMA, right? What they say, the marginal cost, it means the amount any amount given, right? Marginal cost means amount any given, the volume of production, or you can say the word is output, by which aggregate costs are charged if the volume of production increase or decrease by additional 1 unit, right? See, suppose you want to increase one production unit, then what will be the change in cost? Aggregate cost, right? Then that is directly impact on profit. Right? So it means that what sort of the effect on cost due to change in volume of production, right? If suppose you want to add 1 unit, then what sort of change in cost? It means the total cost, right? Then as a result of that, there is a direct impact on profit change, right? So next, this is the marginal cost, and now we move forward to the marginal costing, right? What is the marginal costing? So marginal costing is the ascertainment of marginal cost, the effect on profit of change of volume or type of output by difference of fixed and variable expenses, right? See, the classification of cost or expenses, that means what are the changes in fixed expense, what are the changes in total cost, and total cost, I told you that it is the combination of fixed, variable and semi-variable cost, right? See, the fixed cost, that shall remain constant up to the last level of capacity or at the end of production process, right? Then the variable cost, it means that it is change, right? If the volume of production, it means the volume of output, suppose change, right? Then there may be change in variable cost, right? Then semi-variable cost, it means the partly fixed and some are partly variable, right? So again I tell you that the semi-variable cost, it is the combination of fixed cost and variable cost. It means that some are partly fixed cost and some are partly variable cost. Then the concept is that semi-variable cost, right? So here the change of volume or type of output by difference of fixed and variable expenses, right? See, the marginal costing concept is very much popular, right? In UK, United Kingdoms and all the things, right? Then marginal costing, the another terminology of marginal costing is that you can also call it as the direct costing, right? What is it? Direct costing. And you know well that what is the concept of direct costing, you know well, right? You studied in SY, either semester 3 or 4, right? See, in unit costing, you have to prepare one cost sheet, right? So in that there is a concept of prime cost, right? So prime cost, it means what? Right. See, in the prime cost, you require the raw material purchase, right? In the beginning of the product, suppose you are launching a new product, right? Then you require the purchase of raw material, right? Then there is a process relating the raw material is there, right? Then in addition to that, the labors are also required. It means during the production process, the labor are required to complete the finished goods, right? It means the labors are employed in a particular machinery, right? Then another one is that the expense related to the purchase of raw material. It means we can also call as that any direct expenses, right? So it means that there is a prime cost is there, right? Then the material, it means the raw material, then labor, right? And in addition to that, there are any direct expenses. So make them all the total of that, right? Then you can get the prime cost, right? So these all the expense which is incurred in the form of direct cost, right? Direct cost, right? They are totally prime cost, right? Prime cost. Then in addition to that, you also studied in unit costing. It means in cost sheet, right? You just studied indirect overheads, right? Indirect overhead like factory overhead, selling and distribution overhead, right? And administrative, or you can say the office overheads, right? You studied well, right? So in our marginal costing concept, right? The marginal cost, it means the direct cost, which is very much the word is popular in United Kingdoms, right? It means in a foreign, right? So the marginal cost is also known as variable cost. Variable cost. See, marginal cost is also known as variable cost. Right? Why variable cost? See, the variable cost is varies with the change in volume of production. So due to if the change in production by additional 1 unit, right, there may be change in variable cost in per unit. Variable cost in terms of rupees, right? See, the variable cost is also known as marginal cost, right? So you keep in mind variable cost in terms of per unit itself remain constant, right? But variable cost in terms of rupees are changed, right? Same way, the concept of the fixed expense. The fixed expense or fixed cost shall remain constant up to the last level of activity, or you can say at the end of production level, production process, right? Then till the particular one product is not converted into finished goods, right? Till that the fixed cost remain constant. But in case of variable cost, I repeat, variable cost in terms of rupees are change by change in volume of production. So that's why we can say that that is total directly varies with the change in volume of production. Then that directly impact on profit. So the profit are changed, right? Then variable cost, right? Then again I repeat, variable cost is equal to marginal cost. And what is the marginal cost and marginal costing, right? These are the basic concepts, right? So let me try to again understand that marginal costing with the example. Suppose the company produced 500 units and total cost rupees 4,000. So per unit cost is rupees 8, right? So if the additional unit, suppose now company produce how many units? 500 units. So 500 unit is that. Suppose company can increase one it means one additional units, right? And company can also decrease 1 unit. So now this unit is instead of 500 there is 501. And here the 499, so it means the decrease, right? Then, so there is, while calculating the total cost with the concept of marginal cost, right? It means the variable cost, right? So there is increase or decrease by additional 1 unit. It means here the additional unit 1 increase and here the additional 1 unit decrease. So what sort of effect on profit with the change in total cost? Here the change in total cost, right? So it is 501 multiplied by 8 per rupees, selling price per rupees 8. So now the total, per unit price total cost is 4008, right? Then here it is the done with the if the additional 1 unit is increased, right? In case of 500 unit, right? Then instead of 500 units, suppose company can decrease 1 additional unit. Here the answer is 499, right? So in that case, what will be the total cost? And total cost here 3992. It means the 3992. Here the total cost in case of suppose company produce the 500 units, the total cost here 4000, right? With the help of the selling price. See, this total cost per unit here the same. Here 8. Here 8 and here 8. Only the additional unit it may be increase or decrease, right? Then what sort of effect on profit with the by changing total cost? Here the total cost, right? So here the total cost is 4000 while company produce 500 units. See the per unit price is same, right? In any case, right? Then along with that the 501 unit, it means the additional 1 unit increase, then total cost is changed, right? Then there is decrease in units by additional 1 unit, then there is 3992. This is total cost, right? It means the marginal cost, the meaning is that say that change in total cost. Here the total cost is 4000, here the total cost is 4008, and here the total cost is declining with the amount of rupees 3992 due to increase or decrease by additional 1 unit. So this is the concept of marginal cost, right? So I hope that you understood that this concept of marginal cost, marginal costing, right? And later on stage we will discuss the basic information of break-even point, which is related with the marginal cost, right? Break-even point simply if there is such situation rise with us, that means with the company at the stage company can reach the no profit no loss situation. So this situation we can call as the break-even point, where there is a no profit or no loss, right? So we will try to understand in next lecture soon, right? So later on stage we carry with the break-even analysis. So thank you, धन्यवाद.